Greetings and welcome to another edition of Political Empire. I'm your host, Kim Pearsall with the Press Enterprise and PE.com. We're going to talk about how San Bernardino County is seeking firms to help it in its foreclosure situation. And we're also going to talk to Kevin Pearson in Hemet about quite a bit of news, political news that's happening there in the city. So first, San Bernardino County is seeking foreclosure firms. The Joint Powers Authority in San Bernardino County that's looking at a unique plan to buy underwater mortgages that could involve eminent domain could soon put out a request for proposals from firms with ideas on how to help homeowners. Despite working closely with company Mortgage Resolution Partners, the county's chief executive said no proposal has been officially submitted or chosen. At a meeting, the Joint Powers Authority agency agreed to begin drafting a request for proposals that will return for approval before it is sent out to those interested in taking part. The Mortgage Resolution Partners firm says it plans to submit its plan. So now we're going to go to Kevin Pearson in the Hemet Bureau to tell us a little bit about what's going on in Hemet. Kevin, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Kim. How about yourself?
Doing good. A lot has been happening in Hemet lately. A councilman abruptly resigned. Now the city manager is left for Chico. And recently city residents gathered for a joint council meeting between their city and next door San Jacinto for a Passionate Valley Congress. And Kevin's been covering it all. So first, Kevin, what's going on with the city manager? So what happened to the old city manager and who's the new city manager and what's going on?
After 3 years, Brian Nakamura left to Chico earlier this month and caught everybody off guard with his resignation. City staff, council members were completely unaware of it and quite frankly not happy about the fact that he kept this a secret from them. The next week, the council decided to bring in some candidates for the interim city manager position. One of them was Bob Brady, who was fired from Elsinore earlier this year. Another was Ron Bradley, who was a former city manager in Temecula. And the third was Mark Orem, who's been in the city manager's department in Hemet for 13 years. They did the interviews in closed session, and it was a split vote between in favor of Bradley and Orem. Orem ended up getting the nod. Some council members weren't happy about it. They said Bradley's economic development experience was important. But at the end of the day, Orem is the interim city manager in Hemet.
And he's interim at this point, so are they seeking a full-time city manager?
They are, but obviously with the election coming up and a guarantee of at least 2 new council members being on board and possibly 3, the council's already made it clear that they're going to wait until after the election to do any type of appointment for the long-term position. Just out of fairness to the candidates, you don't want to bring somebody in. A new council comes on board a month later and decides to vote that person out. So right now they're probably looking at about a 6-month window with the interim position.
In addition to new council members and a new city manager, there was recently a Congress that was held between the city of Hemet and San Jacinto where quite a few residents came out to basically talk about any issue really that they had at hand. Talk to us about what happened and what was really the focus of some of those meetings and what was on residents' minds.
Well, 2 meetings, actually, and probably between around 800 people, if not more, at each one. Certainly strong turnout, more than I've ever seen at a meeting out here in the Valley. Residents are concerned about crime, blight, quality of life issues. Undesirables is the word that the city has used quite a bit with the people who are bringing the city down, residents say. They on August 14th, they went to the council to express their frustrations with some of the things going on in Hemet. And then on August 21st, San Jacinto, Hemet, and Riverside County leaders responded with some of their solutions for the problems. And we'll see how much change gets done. They talked about everything from Section 8 housing to probationers, graffiti, crime stats, and just I think the overriding theme was the community really wants to take this region back from the people who have brought it down, and how are the 2 sides going to work together moving forward to ensure that that takes place.
And what were some of those solutions that you mentioned were discussed at the last meeting?
Everything from neighborhood watch programs to graffiti removal teams on the street to community-oriented policing, just things like that. And as one council member pointed out, you know what? You take this back one street at a time.
Fantastic. Well, Kevin, thanks so much for joining us today to give us an update. Kevin, are you still there? Well, I think we may have lost Kevin, or he froze on Skype. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us today, and thanks to you for watching another edition of Political Empire. We'll keep you posted on all the happenings here in the Inland region.